Hello everyone, Malphite here, and today I want to briefly talk about Disguised situation in the LTA North. So we know Disguised is the team led by Disguised Toash, or maybe I shouldn't say led by, but founded by the streamer Disguised Toash, Jeremy Wang, and they are playing in the LTA North, the former LCS, this year. However, they have a relegation spot, which means at the end of the year they will have to fight with the top teams from the NACL, I think, basically the second league, the academy league of the LTA, or the former LCS, and they will have to win their spot. And I'm not sure how many teams are gonna participate in this. I assume it's gonna be like maybe 4 teams. But basically, they will have to win this tournament to not fall down into the academy teams. And so it's very, very important for this team to not fall down. But they're not looking too hot. They are the worst team in the league. And so some changes need to be made. And so we saw that Abbedagge left so that they could pick up Rahel. So Rahel came from SK Gaming, Abbedagge went to SK Gaming, these guys swapped places, and Scary Jerry is currently on the bench. Rahel is replacing him. Now, was this a good decision? 100% yes. Rahel, although he might not look like it, is actually a pretty solid player. So let's look at Rahel. He's still only 21 years old, which is a solid age to be playing. He has a lot of experience from the LCK Academy. He's been playing on SK Gaming for a year now, until he got benched. Okay, so like 9 months. But still like 3 splits, basically. And now he is joining Disguised. So many of you might not realize this, but when Rahel came into the league, he was doing pretty well in 2024. Now in 2025, he was not doing that well, but let's actually look at how well this guy was doing. So these are the stats, is the casuals website dpm.lol, and these are his stats from summer 2024. Out of all the AD carries in the league, he was first in CS per minute. He was third in experience, which kind of relates to it, right? I mean, he was just farming, so he also got solid experience. He was first in gold per minute, which also kind of relates to the CS per minute. He had third KDA. And yeah, that's kind of about it, which just all relates to farming a lot, not dying, playing very conservatively, playing very safely, but you know, winning a lot of games. And they did actually pretty well. That was a split. They actually won the regular season, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, if you look at his values by like damage compared to gold or kill participation, right, it's very, very low because he just was farming. He wasn't really out there like doing some scrimming, like scrimmages with other players and so on. He was just, you know, on his lane farming, and doing pretty well. Now, if you look at his stats from 2025, you know, this is a lot of red, but that was also red before. But he's still pretty good at CS per minute, CS difference at 15, still pretty good at gaining experience. And keep in mind that this is the split that SK was the worst team along with Rogue in the league. Look at this. Everything lost except for like one Ezreal game. This guy was on a team with Reeker and Janax and Isma and maybe Bukara for a bit. I'm not sure if he got replaced before that, but the top side, the whole top side was absolutely atrocious. So, of course, this guy might not look that great, but compared to the AD carries in NA, I think he's gonna do very, very well. And keep in mind, DSG does not need to beat. They don't need to beat the other teams. They are the weakest team in their league, but they do not need to beat Dignitas or Shopify, right? They need to beat the best teams from NACL. So what are the best teams from NACL? Well, why do I have Toasty opening? Oh yeah, I want to talk about the fact that since Abbedagge left, they need a new mid laner, but they already have Castle in top lane, and they already have Rahel now in AD carry, so they have two import slots taken, and so there are two paths that you can go. Number one, you go for a American, or basically NA mid laner, and I was just thinking it's pretty funny that you could go with Toasty because it's Disguised Toash, and there's this guy named Toasty. He's still 19, has a lot of experience playing in the Academy League, and he's actually pretty good. Like, this guy is pretty good. Like, is he better than all the Korean mid laners in the league? No, probably not. But he's definitely a player, like, you know, maybe not this time, but if you can make it, maybe pick him up next year and just invest the time into him and just go for him, you know? Pick Toasty, make him your star player. Yeah, this guy's Toast, you know, the NA talent. Just, you know, make it flourish and nourish this guy. Okay, enough rhyming. A second option is actually... Oh. Okay, yeah. Second option, I was about to say that you could also take a different mid laner, but a second option is that you actually let Castle go. You bench Castle, you take SRTTY, Surty, because Dignitas actually let him go, and you just take him. I mean, he's a very talented player, although he might not look the best right now, he's still very good. You can give him a chance to prove himself, and you can pick up a Korean mid laner, and then you can have just 8 Korean mid laners just battling it out in the league. But the truth is that mid lane talent in NA is not looking too hot right now, and so probably a Korean mid laner could do a lot of damage against these teams when you're trying to fight against being relegated and dropping down into a lower league. So although I really like Castle, I think he was the best part of the team, especially the first split. He was really doing well despite losing every game, but mechanically playing very, very well. But I think overall, if you want the strongest team possible, I think this guy wants a team, and probably you could get him for just one split and see how it goes, and then you could just get like some Korean player that's up for grabs on the market, and suddenly you have a very strong team. Mid lane AD carry, that's like the weakest positions in NA, and you can just have Koreans, and then rest of it you just pick some native talent. Okay, so what are the teams you need to beat, right? I mean, what are the chances we will see Dig surviving this DSG, Disguised? So first of all, you need to beat Luminous Gaming. I mean, it's probably the strongest team. If you look at this, it's all former LCS players. You have Fakegod, you have Tomio, you have Insanity, Tactical, Zeyzal, and not only are they former LCS players, like most of these are like former Cloud9 players, and also they're former DSG players when they still weren't in the LCS or the LTA North, and they were in Academy. They even won the Academy League with these players, right? Like with Tomio, with Fakegod, with Zeyzal. I'm not sure if Insanity played. I don't think Insanity played for them. But Tactical, obviously a veteran, a huge giant of the league. This has been there for years now. And Insanity also still a strong mid laner. So, all of these guys have the experience. They played with each other. The vibes are probably very good in the team. So they are coming for that spot. They want to get promoted, because they know, they could just get promoted, get the team to the league this way, and then, play in the league, and just that's what everyone wants, right? So DSG really needs to beat these guys. Now, would I take Castle over Fakegod? Yes. Would I take exyu over Tomio? Maybe. I mean, I think it's very balanced, like, depends who has a better day. So far we don't know their mid laner, but I think any Korean import I would take over Insanity. Cannot say the same about Toasty. But also, actually, there's another, I don't want to go on tangents, but there's another opportunity, and that is if they somehow would manage to poach Insanity, you would have Castle in the top lane, exyu, Insanity, Rahel and Huhi, I think then you basically get rid of your competition, because LG would need to scramble and get another team. So the question is whether Insanity would do such a backstep to his team so shortly before their chance at promotion, and whether the rest of his team would understand or not, you know. But this could be a move. This could be a move that you do. Other than that, their second competitor, because Luminous Gaming is just one team, but there's also Darkzero Darksteal, and some of these players play in the top team and some of these play in the second team, and I'm not really sure how it works exactly, but I think it's Zamudo, I think it's was it Krira or was it Shimmer? I think it was Shimmer. So I think it's Zamudo, Shimmer, Spyrax, Sajed, and either Crowgen or Zico. But basically all of these guys are very good. You might know Tenacity from 100 Thieves, from also playing boot camping in Korea. He was also playing for DSG in the academy for a bit, if I'm not wrong. I might be wrong a bit here, but yeah, Spawn, also known player. Sajed was doing very well. Yeah, I mean, these guys are just very, very good. But now, luckily, Zamudo, luckily for DSG, Zamudo got picked up by, I think, Leon Gaming instead of Licorice. They picked him up, and he is like probably the best top laner on the market. Although they could have gotten Surti, they could have gotten SRTTY, but they opted in and tried to go with Zamudo, tried to get Zamudo talent after seeing maybe SRTT's performance in the league. So, the short and long question is, can DSG actually make it out? Can Rahel help them through this? And I believe yes. I think most likely if you get Surti in a top lane and you just get a Korean mid laner, I think the strategy of getting a Korean mid laner just works so well in the LTA North, because just no mid laners are so good. Maybe Jojo while he was still in the league, but he went to EU and he won, right? He won the LEC, which is pretty crazy, but about that another time. But basically, yeah, I think if they can get a very strong mid laner, I think they have it in the bag. If not, we might see something disappointing. But personally, I'm a fan of this team. I'm a fan of Disguised Toast, and I want to see the team flourish and want to see what they can bring in next year, right? Obviously, this year is kind of like a tryout for them, where they don't have a lot of money. Like, they're probably the most broke team, right? So they have to do with what they have. So enough of yapping, and let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think Rahel can save this team? Do you think the team is stronger? Who do you think they should get? Should they get rid of Castle, bring in someone else, or should they just get, I don't know, Insanity or Toasty in the mid lane? Let me know all your plans and thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.